Welcome you all to yet another session in Python programming course. We are currently discussing module 2, in which we had already covered functions. In our previous sessions we talked about how to define a function, how to call a function, what are the different arguments that can be passed to a function. Then we also talked about lambda functions, which are nothing but anonymous functions. Then we also discussed recursive functions. Now in this video we are going to talk about the modules. Modules refer to a file containing Python statements and definitions which are somewhat similar to code library. Say for example, in C you have header files which contain all the functions which can be used in your program. Or if you take Java programming, you have packages that contain all sort of functions which are required for your program. So modules in Python program is somewhat similar to the packages or libraries that you use in other programming languages. We can also say that a module is a file containing set of functions which can be included in an application or in a program. Or you can say module is an object that we can bind it in our program, and we can have all sort of references that are available in a module which can be used in your program. So in general we can say module is the one that contains functions, classes. This is what we refer as statements here, and it can also contain some variables which can be used as a global value in your program. Right, so if you have lots of constants to be defined in your program, you can define all those things in your module, and that module can be reused again and again in different applications that you are going to develop. Okay, so that is the advantage of having the Python modules. So in general you can understand that modules are generally used to break down large programs into small, manageable and organized files. That is the major purpose of having module. The main objective of modularizing, or the main objective of defining or creating some modules, is you can break down a large and complex programs into small and when I say small, uh, obviously the smaller units become manageable and you can have organized files. So that is the objective of modules to be created in a Python environment. Now when you take modules, we have lots of standard modules available in Python. The standard modules are also known as built-in modules. Let us see what are the different built-in modules available in Python. These are the list of built-in modules available in Python. I took it from python.org website. So these are the list of Python built-in modules. All these modules are having lots and lots of functions and definitions. You can use it in your application or in your program. Say for example, we had already discussed math module in one of our earlier session. Yeah, so let me take the math module. So this is the math module. So whenever you want to use some mathematical functions like sine, tan, etc., or absolute, power, all those things are available in mathematical functions called as math module. So if you just import this math module in your application, all the mathematical functions can be used in your application or in your program. So let me just click on this. So this is the math module that contains this many number of functions: ceiling, comb, fabs, factorial, floor, fmod, fsum, gcd. We had already discussed how to find a gcd of two numbers in a Python program, right? So in our earlier lab session we had discussed how to write a Python program to find the GCD of two numbers. Instead of writing your own program, it is already available in your math library. Just import the math library and you use your GCD function. It will return the greatest common divisor of two different numbers, or maybe a list of integers. Okay, so these are some of the functions which are already available in your math library. The same way, if you see, uh, let me have another library. Let us take date and time. Okay, date and time, or you take keyword. Keyword is another library which is module which is available in Python. So these are some of the functions which are available in keyword module. So if you want to check whether a particular term is a keyword in Python or not, you can use this particular function. So this is another module which is available as built-in module. Then if you take date and time, right, so that is another interesting module which you may be using in your program often. Date and time, so basic date and time types will be available here. So this is another built-in module which has got date and time functions. So if you want to get the date, if you want to get the current date, current time, date and time combination, if you want to get the time zone in your program, right? So these are lots and lots of functions and um, code definitions are available here. So you can make use of these. Date object is also available. So not only the functions, it is also containing date object. So you can use the date object if you want to create a date object in your program. You can use this, right? So lots of built-in functions like this are available in Python program. You can make use of these built-in modules in your application. So you need not write your own code. Say for example, as I told you, if you want to find out if you want to have some mathematical functions in your program, you can directly import this math module and you can use it in your program. You need not write your own code. This is what you call as reusability. Since you have lots of built-in modules available, you can import them and you can reuse the code which is already available in your Python program. That is the advantage of having built-in modules. Okay, now sometimes you may want to have your own functions, right? Say for example, if you are a Python developer and you are working for a particular project, in that project you may be using some definitions or some functions or some variables often in various programs, right? So you may be you might have decomposed the larger program into smaller programs. In all these programs, since all these programs are coming under one project, you may want to use all these you may want to use some set of values in all these programs. In that case, what you can do, you can define your own module. So the modules which can be created by the programmer is what you call as user defined modules. Most used functions, as I told you, you are using a function often in your program, or you are using a function often in different applications that you are going to develop, or you are going to use a particular set of values in your different programs or in different applications, then all these things can be defined in a module and that can be imported into different applications. That is the advantage of having user defined modules. So for which the modules are to be created and it has to be imported in your program. This is very important. So if you have your own functions, your own definitions, your own values to be used in different applications that you are going to develop, then you can create your own modules which you call as user defined modules. Let us see how to create and how to import the modules in your application. Okay. Now for creating a module, you are going to just type the functions and code segments in a file and save that file with extension .py. Okay, let us see an example. If you want to create a module, what we are going to do, we are going to just type the functions, definitions, or your code segments, or the variables, or the values, whatever you want in that module. You just type it in the module and save that module with .py extension. Fine. Let us see an example. You create a Python file named mymodule.py. So observe here the extension is .py, and these are the different definitions I want in my module, right? So I have a function called course name and which will be returning BCA, and I have a function called institution address which will be returning the address like this, and I have institution contact which will be returning this particular value. Apart from that, I define one mathematical function also, test function. I pass two arguments a and b and I am returning sum of these two arguments, right? So this is having only the definitions, right? You can observe I am not calling these functions, or I don't have a main program, etc. In this particular module, I define four different functions, four different normal functions are defined in my module. So this is how we will be creating the module. Now once you have created, you are going to use these definitions in your program, right? So all these definitions you want to use in your application or in your program. So for which what you have to do, you have to import and use the module using the import keyword. So you can observe here I am using the import keyword and I say import my module as We had already discussed how to use the import keyword for the built-in functions or built-in modules, and we had seen what do you mean by alias of the module, and we had also seen how as keyword is used for creating an alias, right? So all those things we had already discussed in our earlier session. Okay, so the module name is actually my module. So what I do, I import that module and I am renaming it, or I am using an alias for this particular module as Otherwise in all my program I have to use my module, my underscore module, my underscore module. So to avoid that, I am creating a simple or a short name as an alias for my module. Okay, and I'm going to just use this alias dot the function name, right? So this is one function name, I call that function like this, and this is another function in my module, so I'm calling it this way, and this is another function, test function a comma b. I am going to call the test function by passing two values 5 comma 10. So what it will do, it will just import this module, and this function is already available in your program. So these functions can be called simply as you call your normal functions which are defined inside your program. Well and good. Apart from that, the module can also contain variables of all types. As I told you, the modules are not only used for this kind of definitions, the modules can also be used to store some variables or values of any data types like arrays, dictionaries, objects, etc., etc. So here I have an example of dictionary. I have created two dictionaries, one institution values, the other one computing services values, right? So here the dictionary is having key value pairs. It has state, location, country, district, pin code of the institution. Another one, computing services values, I have the operating system, ERP, how many number of labs are there, whether you have Wi-Fi support or not. These kind of dictionary information can also be stored in a module. So once you have stored it, as you access the variables or values in your normal program, you can access them from the module also. Let us see this in the example. Let us go to the spider. I am going to open the spider. So this is my spider environment. Let me have it in the full screen mode. Fine, very good. So what I have here, you can observe I have a file called Python file called mymodule.py in which I have defined all these 4 different functions. Then I have defined 2 dictionaries also. You can observe here backslash is used for multi-line statements, right? So if I have not used backslash, what happens? The enter, if I press enter key, automatically this will be considered as a next statement, right? So if you want to have multi-line statements, that means one statement spanned in multiple lines. So for that I am using backslash, right? If I don't use backslash here, it is going to give you an error. Okay, so to avoid that, what I do, I am using backslash so that all these lines will be considered as a single Python statement. And here again, all these 4 lines will be considered as a single Python statement. Okay, that is it. Okay, now what I do, I have my module.py which is created as a module. You can just run it to test whether any error is there. No errors are there in the module. Okay, now this is just defining or creating a module. I have created a module. Now using the module, how do you use the module? You go to another program. My next program is called as testmodule.py, in which I am going to use my module by importing it, right? So I import the module and I rename it as mm. Then I am going to invoke the methods or functions. Let me say functions. I am calling these functions, and you can observe here I am using the dictionary value here. Whatever value I have given for OS, operating system of computing services, that will be returned and I am going to print it. Okay, so let us try running this program. When I run, you can observe it invokes the institution address function. What do you have in institution address function? It will be returning Chala Kannur. So that is what is returned here. Okay, then next function is institution contact. Obviously institution contact will be returning this. So this print statement gives you this particular output. Then I have test function invoked by passing 5 and 10. So what it does, it will be returning sum of 5 and 10. So I get 15 as the output for this print statement. Then I am going to use the value, right? So I have a dictionary defined as computing services values, right? So computing services values I have defined in my module, and here the key is operating system and the value is Linux. So what I tried here, I tried to access the value of this particular key using the square bracket, and I assign it to a variable called OS. and I try to print it, and I get the value Linux, which is the value that is available in the module. Okay, so this is how you can use the definitions or the variables or the values that you have defined in your module in another program. So this is my module, and I am using this module in my program by importing it. Okay, so this is how we do the module creation and module usage in my program. Okay, now the next thing that we have to understand in the modules are import using from. Okay, see, sometimes I don't want to import all the definitions that are available in a module. Instead, I want to import only parts, right? Specific functions or specific classes or specific definitions from a module, which can be done by using the from keyword. Say for example, you have a built-in module called math, in which I have a function called pi. Okay, suppose say for example in your program you want to use only the pi function, not any other function from the mathematical library. So instead of importing all the definitions that are available in the math module, you can use the from keyword, saying from this particular module import pi function only, so that all the functions of math module will not be imported, only the pi function is imported. So this is very important to improve or enhance the execution speed or the linking speed of your program. So when you have large and complex program, importing all the definitions from a module will take longer time, right? So to reduce the execution time and to reduce the linking time, what you can do, import only the functions or classes that are required in your program, not all the definitions available in your module. But suppose say for example you want to import all the definitions from your module, then you can use this particular construct, from math import star. So if you just say import math, all the definitions will be imported. Apart from that, to be more specific, you can say from math import star, so that all the definitions will be imported into your application or program. So this is how you use from keyword while importing. Now another very important point to be noted in the modules is how the modules are located by the system. So while importing, the Python interpreter searches for the module in this particular sequence. What it will do, it will search for that particular module, whichever module you are importing. Say here you are importing math, here you are importing my module, right? So when you import a module, what the Python interpreter will do, it will first search for the module in the current directory. So if it is not available in the current directory, what it will do, then it will be searching for the module in each directory which are specified in a shell variable called Python path. Okay, so Python path is nothing but an environment variable that has got list of directories. Say if you want to set a particular directory in Python path, you can use the set command. Then this is the environment variable, which will be always in capital letter, equal to, and whatever directory you want you can specify here, right? So if the module is not found in the current directory, what it will do, it will go and search in the directories which are specified in the Python path environment variable. And if the module is not found again in Python path, what it will do, it will check the default path for the Python program. So default path for not Python program, Python libraries. So all the Python libraries are available in this particular location. This is the default path for the Python location, especially in the Linux environment. I will show you from my terminal. So this is my terminal. Now in the terminal, if I go to user local lib, you can see these are the two versions of Python I have installed, 3.6 and 2.7. So all the libraries of built-in libraries or built-in modules will be available in Python 3.6. So let me say I go to Python 3.6, and if I list, all the packages are available here. So if you want, I can list the, so these are all the libraries, right? Or let me say the modules, whatever modules I have installed in my Python environment, all the modules like NumPy, Matplotlib, Sklearn, Seaborn, all these things I had already installed in my Python environment. So all these modules are available in this particular path, user local lib Python 3.6. 3.6 is the version it says, right? So this is how the Python modules will be located. Modules will be located by the Python interpreter whenever you use the import statement in your program. Okay, so with that we are completing the discussion on modules. In the next session we will be talking about the file handling. Thank you.